Oi oi, it's your boy Vegan here. Just practicing a bit of guitar to sort of, relax and chill. Just gonna go ahead and do more reading and need to do a lot of reading. I'm really enjoying uni. Like I don't care about the social because I commute to university anywhere before the lockdown commuted. I don't care about the social life. I just really enjoy the process of studying and talking to the lecturers and just engaging in the material. I just found it's like, especially in the second year more so, I feel like I'm developing my writing style. I feel like I'm just getting there to the sort of 68, 69, which is like a 2-1 sort of 70 level. I'm not doing too amazing in philosophy. I need to work on it. But I wanted to talk about why 90% of people. Well, I didn't even know the percentage, but I just want to talk about why so many people will fail on a vegan lifestyle, on specifically on a plant-based diet. I'm not talking about really the ethics side of it, but veganism in itself is about, buying like shower products that have, essentially when it boils down to it, it's about minimizing the negative harm that is caused. So you have a negative duty to try and minimize as possible the harm done to the animals, to the planet, and the people essentially that live in this world. And just shut it. So why? But let's not talk about this. I just want to talk about the vegan diet itself. Because that's what people call it anyway. They call it a diet. A vegan diet is not a diet. It's a plant-based diet is a diet. But I digress. Anyway, so I think one of the most reasons fail is a lot of people who went on this lifestyle did it as a trend, especially like YouTubers. But I'm not talking about YouTubers. I'm just talking about general people. They sort of they get influenced by celebrity, or they've word of mouth, and maybe they've seen something horrible happen, in the past, and then they go on this lifestyle with not much thought to it, because there are right ways of doing any diet really. Whatever diet you're doing, there's ways that you'll succeed on them. But this one has just happened to be the most sustainable one, and the one I'm talking about is a diet full of carbohydrates, where a majority of your calories come from carbohydrates anywhere. And what do I mean by carbohydrates? I don't mean donuts, because they're full of fat. What I mean by that is, potatoes, sweet potatoes, pasta, rice, beans, stuff like that, fruits, vegetables. This is all carbohydrates. Most nutrients you can get, apart from B12, but it's like 40% of people, regardless of diet. In America, that was like really old statistics, probably been updated. Are deficient B12, so I use a spray. Boom boom. Hashtag not sponsored, but never anyway. You can just take vitamin B vitamins. I mean, I know people inject in that, but I'm not really into needles. So so why people fail? Because they do these stupid trends. Juice cleanse. I mean, I want to do like a juice fast, maybe like for 2-3 days, just drink juice, because I love juice, But when they do it long term, and it just destroys the whole system, They do juice cleanses, they do high fat plant based diets. It's like, what? They do. I mean, you can if you want to gain mass, you can go for high carb, high protein, and fat there if you want to gain mass. But if you want to be fit and healthy and just feel good, then a whole food, high carb diet is the way to go. And there's just nothing like it. And one of the main reasons people fail, the reason I post this is because Matt made a video recently, Pal Simeon, and he talks about Nicolo Avocado, the guy who was a YouTuber, who's like, now he's so obese. And he was a raw vegan, and I don't recommend raw veganism to anyone, honestly, unless you live in like a hot climate where you have access to high quality good fruit. Otherwise, it's just not sustainable. And even then, you're gonna need some rice, because there's just not enough calories in fruit, unless you're eating just bananas and dates, just bananas and dates and durian fruit and jackfruit. But that's not the reality. You can just unsustainable, and there's this tendency for perfectionism in anything in life, and you get people like going on YouTube and try to be perfectionists in their eating habits, and it's not sustainable. It's not possible. It's not how things really work in the real world. And what I suggest to anyone who wants to you know, if you've been on the veganuary, maybe you failed, maybe you stop eating meat against this doesn't work for me, or cheese or whatever. It's a slow process for some, but I recommend you. It's worth investing into your health, because I think it's the most valuable asset you have, your health. And once you have that health, you can achieve anything, really. You can, and on a plant-based stuff, so you can push your body to the extremes. I've never seen anything that comes close to a diet when if you want to be a professional athlete. There's nothing like it, you know. The amount of if you carb load as well, especially before like a big sports practice or whatever. It's just you can push your body so hard because you've got all this glycogen storage. Your muscles are just filled with fuel. You know, it is just incredible. So, I mean, look, you can adapt your body to pretty much anything, but that doesn't mean it's healthy for you. You know, long term, a diet rich in fruit and vegetables and grains and legumes and all that good stuff is not only sustainable but good for your health. You know, for the planet, animals, and you know. Most of you subscribers know what I'm talking about, and I'm sorry to repeat the old shit, but I've just posting out videos maybe to new people who've come across my channel for some reason, which is very unlikely because the algorithm has completely changed. The whole landscape has changed, you know. YouTube is now about short videos. It's basically a TikTok of, YouTube is essentially TikTok. That's all it is. Or people just post TikToks on YouTube. So, but I don't care about views. I don't care about that. I just wanted to bring some new insight, well, not new insight, but something that I want to discuss and I feel really strongly passionate about. You know, I don't have scripts, I don't post my videos. You might think, oh, I don't put enough effort into this, but I don't know. But I wanted to speak from my heart and from experience to share this, and it's just crazy, you know. And what pisses me off the worst is that the mainstream community, the mainstream population, as soon as one vegan fails and he says, oh, I nearly died because of this, they blame it on the diet, even though they were starving themselves, doing ridiculous like fads, diets and unsustainable things. You know, they had other pre-health conditions, you know. Like, it's just as soon as something is wrong with that person, they point the finger. Oh, that's it. It must be that. Because, you know, I've said this a million times in the past. People want justifications for their bad habits, you know? And I do it myself. I justify other, you know, like gaming and, you know, wasting time and stuff like that, which I do a lot, fortunately. And people just want to hear excuses, you know? To justify their habits, to bad habits, you know? To say, oh, look at how many ex-vegans there are. That's it. It must not be working. It must not be very healthy. We really are meat eaters. I mean, look at our canines. We're like lions out there. It's a jungle, you know. It's a jungle out there. So we gotta go to the shop and hunt some meat in the shop. You know, it's ridiculous. So yeah, and I think people fail on this lifestyle, on this diet specifically, because one, they don't do it right, and that's one of the main reasons. And two, they have a tendency to be perfectionist, or they think it'll solve all their problems. No, it won't. It'll just give you enough energy to do shit in life, to do things that you enjoy. Give you enough energy, fuel power. If you're, you don't have to be an athlete to be on this lifestyle. Because Vegan Games was talking about, oh, how too many carbohydrates, you know, you're gonna get fat. It's like, no, your brain uses a lot of glucose, you know. Just going out for walks and getting fresh air, that's you know, it's good enough. But obviously, if you want to have fitness, you will need to exercise, you know. So I think it's just a lot of bullshit, you know. And like, I'll give you an example of the vegan runner, ex-vegan runner, Brandon. If you're seeing this video, no hate intended, but I was just he and Tofu Timmy as well. Now just Timmy, you know. He used to be vegan, was really into the ethics stuff. He worked in an animal factory or whatever, like slaughtering animals. And he went back to eating meat. And I was like, what? And when I looked on his Instagram post and what stuff he ate like cakes, vegan cheesecakes. You know, I never saw any rice. I never saw large proportion of rice. I mean, the guy was recovering from eating disorder. He was like anorexic, you know, very slim. Wasn't eating enough calories, you know. Just wasn't eating enough food, you know. So if you look at Dune Rider, a lot of these vegans who do a lot of cardio, they get like 10, 15 bananas in a blender with some sugar, and then you go, there's about 1,000, 2,000 calories in the morning there, you know? So Brandon wasn't saying, oh, it just wasn't eating enough food, just you can't, he was essentially saying that you can't get enough calories because you're an athlete. He was an athlete, a long distance runner. That's just burning too many calories, and it just wasn't sustainable because I was eating so much food. It's like, yeah, you're gonna eat a lot more food, but it's just in a piece of meat. There's more calories, more fat in that little piece. You know, I mean, it's not that difficult to buy some bananas and blend them up in some sugar. That's why you need supplements like sugar to get more energy into your muscle. So it's just excuses. You know, I'm sorry this video is complicated and stuff, maybe inaccessible to some audiences. But I'm trying to sort of target people who are sort of 15, 16-year-olds, and I'm not very good with kids or explaining things to kids anyway. So I think a lot of people fail, like I've already said. They don't do it right. They don't do a high carb diet, which is essential to your success. Lots of fruit, lots of vegetables, lots of variety. You know, make it enjoyable. Don't. A vegan diet is not meant to be like, oh, this is like so much effort. I've given up so much. It's like, I'm not giving anything up. Yeah. In fact, I'm investing. It's into my health, to my well-being. So that's one. And then two, they just, you know, they point the finger as soon as something is wrong. It's like, oh, I've got a headache. I've got like my muscles hurt or something. Oh, there's other things that could be causing it. You know, correlation doesn't mean causation. Isn't it? Oh, I went vegan and in 2 weeks I've anemic, and it's like, I'm fine. You know, my health. I've been doing this for 5 years. I've had my ups and downs. I've gotten some mistakes, you know, largely just not enough sleep and not enough water, not enough carbohydrates. And since I have bipolar, when I don't get enough sleep, I get my manic episodes begin. You know, I found, and I've learned this from many people in the vegan community, thanks to all you who helped, just not enough sleep just worsens my bipolar, you know. And when I went to the hospital, this could have been avoided, you know, but you know, it's just a period of time. Sometimes I wasn't sleeping those periods, and then when I was in hospital, you know, I got really upset that, you know, my parents did that. But I understand they were worried. But, you know, I wasn't sleeping. I was literally cycling all day, all night in Southampton and Bournemouth, just out of my mind. I don't even remember half the things that happened. I've lost my glasses, my hat. You know, there's just so many things that I've lost. Two of my water bottles I've lost. I have no idea what happened to them. You know. So I just don't have it. It's like you're drunk on energy and power. I was eating lots of carbohydrates, but I wasn't sleeping enough. You know, I wasn't getting the proper rest, the proper relaxation for my brain, and then it just my bipolar just went. But then sort of it slumped down, but anyway. So sleep and water, like I've always said, sleep and water are essential. 7-8 hours, and lots of water. Make sure your piss is clear every time you piss, and carbohydrates, and you will succeed. Trust me. You know. So yeah, my hair's getting bloody long. I kind of like it. I don't care what people say anyway. I kind of do sometimes. I mean, we're all insecure a little bit, but anyway, I know it's a long video, but I appreciate you checking out, commenting, and stuff like that, and subscribe if you want to see more. If you're interested in something specific, hit me in the comment down below. But yeah, try this lifestyle if you're new to this, if you're interested, because I think it's the way of the future. You know, be on the right side of history from an ethical point of view, and be on the right side in terms of health. There's just, the evidence is just so overwhelming. You know, it's just the mainstream doesn't want to talk about, because, you know, first of all, they want excuses to eat meat, continue living their way. Their ways, and second of all, there's just a lot of money in this, you know, so much money in animal slavery, essentially animal slavery and genocide, yearly, every year millions of them killed, and what for? It's not because of necessity, it's not because of survival, it's because of taste and money, and I find those reasons unsatisfactory. I find them morally reprehensible, in fact. So, and I think every time you give money to that industry, you're giving encouragement, you're encouraging them to continue on. It's like paying someone to kill someone else? Like, would you pay money to kill someone that you for satisfaction, just because it gives you pleasure? Maybe you want to eat them. I don't know what your kind of stuff. You kill someone, and then because you paid someone to kill them because you don't want to get your hands dirty, and then they chop that person up, and then you ate them. Do you find that ethically acceptable? I don't think anyone would, and I don't know why. What? There's no difference between an animal and a human whatsoever, apart from intelligence. And if you think intelligence is a good reason to kill someone, then does that mean we could kill disabled people? Does that mean we can kill severely disabled children because of their intelligence? Does that give you moral superiority? Does it give you, justification to kill an animal alive because of its intelligence? Anyway, that's off topic completely, but thank you for watching. Stay sexy, stay hungry, carb the fuck up, go vegan, get on the bike, and I'll see you out there in the free world.